England prospect Noah Caluori opens up on his explosive rise. Dream debut and lofty ambitions, few young players burst onto the professional rugby scene with the impact that Noah Caluori has managed this season. At just 19 years old, the electric winger has gone from academy prospect to one of the most talked-about players in the Gallagher Premiership, topping the try-scoring charts and announcing himself as a genuine star of the future. This week, Caluori sat down with Ben Youngs and Dan Cole on the For the Love of Rugby podcast, where he reflected on his remarkable breakthrough campaign, his surreal first steps into Premiership rugby, and the ambitions that continue to drive him forward. What emerged was the story of a young player still trying to process just how quickly his life has changed, but one whose hunger suggests that this is only the beginning. A season that no one could have scripted. Caluori's rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. 7 Premiership appearances, 12 tries, a 5-try haul against Sale Sharks, a 4-try demolition of Newcastle Falcons. For a teenager in his first full exposure to senior rugby, the numbers are eye-watering. In a league renowned for its physicality, defensive organization, and tactical complexity, young players are usually eased and carefully. Instead, Caluori has burst through the door, kicked it off its hinges, and made himself impossible to ignore. His speed, footwork, and natural finishing ability have turned him into one of the most dangerous wide threats in the competition, and suddenly conversations that once revolved around potential are now firmly focused on performance. The night everything changed, every breakout star has a moment when their journey truly begins. For Caluori, it came just months ago during his Premiership debut against Newcastle. Introduced from the bench with around half an hour remaining, the teenage winger wasted no time in making his presence felt. An unsecured clearance kick from Owen Farrell dropped invitingly into space. Caluori reacted instinctively, scooping up the ball, stepping 2 defenders, and diving over the line in spectacular fashion. It was the type of try that instantly announces a player's arrival. Looking back on the moment, Caluori admits the experience felt almost unreal. "It was crazy, genuinely crazy," he said on the podcast. After the game, I was like, what the hell have I just done? That's not the guy I played at school with. The aftermath of that debut try was just as overwhelming as the moment itself. As Caluori left the pitch and returned to the changing room, the sense of disbelief lingered. Messages flooded in from friends and teammates back home, many of whom struggled to reconcile the player they knew with the performance they had just witnessed on television. "I text my mates from back home," he explained. "One of the boys in the academy, Ryan Jones, probably my best mate, texted me saying, 'I don't feel like I was watching you. That's not the guy I played at school with.'" The comment summed up how quickly Caluori's world had shifted. Genuinely, what the hell just happened? It was crazy. After the game, I was in the changing room, and I was genuinely thinking, oh my days, this was crazy. A whirlwind 24 hours. If the debut itself felt surreal, the 24 hours that followed only heightened the sense that something special was unfolding. The whole night was mental, Caluori recalled. And then in the morning, my phone blew up. I was just like, what is going on? For a teenager who had only recently been playing academy rugby, the sudden attention, praise, and expectation could have been overwhelming. Instead, Caluori appears to have embraced it with enthusiasm and humility. "But it was incredible," he said. "It was so good." From impact sub to Premiership phenomenon, what separates Caluori's story from many promising debuts is what happened next. Often, young players enjoy a standout moment before being figured out by opposition analysts. Defenses adjust. Space dries up. Confidence is tested. That hasn't happened here. Instead, Caluori has gone from strength to strength, delivering performance after performance with the composure of a seasoned professional. His 5-try display against Sale Sharks and 4-try haul against Newcastle were not the product of defensive lapses alone. They were finishes crafted through intelligent running lines, anticipation, and ruthless execution. At just 19, he already possesses one of the most valuable traits for a winger: the ability to score tries in multiple ways, learning from those who have done it all. Despite the meteoric rise, Caluori is acutely aware that he is still at the beginning of his journey. Point one of the themes he returned to repeatedly during the podcast was the value of learning from the experienced players around him. Men who have already achieved what he dreams of. Seeing everyone, all the guys that have done it all, you want to just take after them, he said, following their similar footsteps. Caluori is careful not to suggest there is a single path to success, but he believes exposure to elite professionals accelerates development. Everyone has their own path, but on that same trajectory as them. Seeing that if they can accomplish it, and I'm playing with them, I'm young, why can't I do the same? That mindset, ambitious without being entitled, is often cited by coaches as the hallmark of players who go on to thrive at international level. The hunger that doesn't fade. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Caluori's interview was his relentless hunger. Despite his early success, there was no sense of satisfaction or complacency. Instead, his focus remains firmly on improvement and competition. I want to go do what they've done, and I want to accomplish more, he said, just having that hunger to carry on fighting day in, day out for your position. For a young winger, competition is fierce. One quiet performance can see opportunities dry up. Caluori understands that nothing is guaranteed. To go achieve the next thing, he continued, to go and reach the next level. Dreaming big and saying it out loud when asked about his long-term goals, Caluori didn't hesitate. Far from offering vague platitudes about taking it game by game, he spoke openly about the dreams that have driven him since childhood. Hopefully, I want to be able to say in 10 years' time, he said, hopefully win a World Cup with England, hopefully British and Irish Lions, and then win a Champions Cup and the Prem with Saracens. It was an extraordinary statement of intent, and one that speaks volumes about his belief. While such ambitions may sound bold for a 19-year-old, they are also rooted in realism. Caluori is already performing at Premiership level. If his trajectory continues, international opportunities may arrive sooner rather than later. England and Lions. Distant dreams or inevitable conversations. England's wing depth has fluctuated in recent years, and the emergence of young, fearless finishers has become a priority, while Caluori remains some distance from a test call-up. His current form ensures that his name is already being discussed in broader England rugby circles. At the very least, he has placed himself firmly on the radar. The mention of the British and Irish Lions may feel even more distant, but history shows that exceptional wingers can rise rapidly when form demands it. Caluori isn't rushing. But he isn't hiding either, facing childhood idols beyond trophies and titles. Caluori also spoke about the players who inspired him growing up. Two names stood out: Rico Ione and Bowden Barrett. He admitted that along his journey, he'd love to play against his idols from when he was younger. Those dreams may not be as far-fetched as they once seemed. With Ione currently plying his trade for Leinster in the Investec Champions Cup, a club-versus-club meeting could happen sooner rather than later. And if Caluori's rise continues at its current pace, the possibility of facing Barrett before the legendary All Black retires cannot be ruled out. For a teenager who grew up watching those players dominate world rugby, such encounters would represent a full-circle moment, keeping feet on the ground for all the excitement surrounding Caluori's season. Those close to him are keen to ensure he remains grounded. Young wingers can be defined by moments of brilliance, but longevity at the top level requires consistency, resilience, and continual development, particularly in defense, aerial contests, and decision-making under pressure. Caluori appears well aware of that reality. His language reflects curiosity rather than entitlement, ambition balanced by humility, a breakthrough that feels sustainable. What makes Caluori's story particularly compelling is that his success does not feel like a flash in the pan. His tries are not the product of luck or broken play alone. They come from repeatable skills, pace, awareness, timing, and an instinctive understanding of space. Those attributes, combined with the guidance of experienced teammates and coaches, suggest that this breakthrough season could be the foundation of a long and productive career.